anyway, people during the workshop and afterwards, the way that they describe it is it's almost like this part of their brain gets turned back on, and it's like opening this channel, and they feel super energized. You feel really amazing. I mean, when you're operating in flow state, you have this limitless source of energy, which is why you can work for 12 hours, and then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I mean, I just was doing that yesterday. I had a deadline, and it was 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock at night. And then I have a hard stop time of 10 o'clock. I actually forced myself to shut off electronics, ideally earlier than that. But for me, it's very easy for me to work till late in the evening, and then I have to okay, get off the computer, because I don't want to go beyond that point. I'm super energized up to a certain point, and then I'm like, okay, now I need to get off the computer, have my quiet downtime, and let my batteries recharge. So it's important to be able to do that as well. And anyway, so it's really not as complicated as people think that it might be. It's actually a very simple thing. And I think, again, it's because it is our birthright. We are naturally designed to have this time where our brains want to go into this creative zone, and to be able to integrate that into our daily lives is really important. And it helps all sorts of things. I mean, stress reduction. In business applications, McKinsey did a 10-year study on top executives who are operating in flow state. You can actually, again, this is on my website. They found that executives and business people in general who are operating in flow state are 500% more effective. 500%. So that means you can go in and work on Monday and get a full week's work done. So work one day, take the rest of the week off, like literally. And like people like Christina, myself, other people who are entrepreneurs, people look at all the things that we've done and they're like, how do you find the time to do all of that? I mean, and not be exhausted and dead. When you're channeling this energy, you're not using your own energy sources. You're kind of taking it in, and it's coming in and coming out through your work, and the amount of sheer product of things that you're putting out into the world seems astronomical to people who are working the regular old 9-to-5 corporate job and feeling like, oh my God, what time is it? It's only 3 o'clock. I have 2 more hours. I have to be here. That's not operating in flow state. And you can get into flow state even in your job. I mean, if you're not very fulfilled in your job, it's going to be a lot harder, because there are some requirements for being able to operate in flow. And one of the things, you have to feel challenged. You can't feel overly challenged, but you can't feel like it's too easy and boring, because if it's too boring for you, you won't get into flow. And if it's too challenging, it's beyond your abilities, or you're being pulled into meetings every half hour. That's another thing that will block flow. So there are a number of things that will prevent you from getting into flow state. If you understand what those are and you can eliminate those, then it's a lot easier to get the blinder.